Hello.
Hi.
So happy you joined us.
I know. I just remembered I can't stay on the whole class and I couldn't go. And then I thought, oh, I can jump on for a little while. So
yeah, absolutely. Oh, thank you. Behind, about five behind.
Great to see you.
Good to see you. Just one more.
Oh, lay down.
Yeah. All right, let me just do one more thing. Thank you.
Okay, can I leave now? Don't want you to forget your glasses. I'm going to put them here in your bag.
Okay.
Because you're having one of those days.
My little Edie says hi.
Oh my goodness. Look at that dog. It'd be interesting. Sometimes dogs' reactions when they hear the breathing technique that we do or whatever, like it usually mellows them out. So we'll see what kind of effect it has on your dog.
Yes, thank you, Nancy.
You're welcome. All right, I'm going to go ahead and mute you.
Sure.
And then
mute too.
If you've got a couple of blocks or a cushion that you can use as a bolster under you for a meditative seat, that would be great. So how are we this morning? Good, yeah, yeah. Hanging in there. So are you all having company for the holidays, or?
I'm going to my daughter in England.
Oh, that's
so I fly home to Toronto, then fly to England, and fly back to Toronto, and then come back.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
I don't miss a Christmas with my grandkids in England.
That's wonderful. You know, I'm married to a Scotsman. So we go over to the UK. We try and go annually. Of course, the past 5 years has been crazy, but we did get back in June and went to London first and then up to Scotland. And I love it over there. I really do. We actually listen through our Alexa. We tune into radio stations.
My husband listens to Salton or Southampton. My husband's from Southampton.
Okay. Aw, that's so neat. Well, good. And then anybody else traveling or?
No, I'm flying home today.
Oh, you are?
Back to Boston. We'll be back in January.
Okay. All right.
So we come and go.
Okay. Aw. So you'll go do yoga with your daughter up in Boston?
Yeah.
Good.
I'm trying. I'm just starting. So
I love it. I love that you're here.
Where do you get your legs done? I can't sit like that.
I can do what you're doing.
Oh yeah, she told me. It's actually a lot easier than that.
Where in Boston do you go?
We live in Newton.
Oh, okay.
Right
my son is right down the street in West Roxbury.
Oh, I like that. I have a lot of friends
we're
there.
from Newburyport.
Oh, that's great.
But we're not going back. I have too many houses that got destroyed in the hurricane climates. Yeah. And my daughter who's living with us, because her house got destroyed.
Oh, that's hard.
So all the plans for Christmas totally changed. And I get it.
Well, you're in a much warmer spot.
Yeah, I know. It's still depressing not to go see. You said the Marine babies. I have 5 of them, so we're gonna try to get there in January.
Oh, good. Yeah.
They're having a big snowstorm next week. So
White Christmas.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to it.
My daughter said 60 degrees the other day, and now they're going to get a snowstorm next week. So.
Yeah.
And tell me your first name again.
Darlene.
Darlene, that's right. And your first name is
Gail.
Karen with a C.
With a C, okay.
That's how people remember it.
Yeah. And Darlene, my best friend from college is in Newton.
Oh,
right off Com Ave.
Oh, she was with me and we were very close.
Oh, good. We'll have to look at the address
great.
after. But yeah, so I'm there every so often.
Yeah,
Oh,
it feels like home after 22 years. It still feels like home. So
that's like New Jersey for me.
Yeah.
So Darlene, instead of bringing your feet together like this, see if you can either bring your heels in line, one in front of the other, or if crossing the legs is
probably crossing.
Yeah, And then you can also use blocks then underneath to support, and that takes all the work.
Oh.
Does that make a difference?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Almost where the block's coming to the ball of the foot. Yeah. So, and you're both comfortable like that too. Okay, good, good. So yeah, let's start here in the seat. Close your eyes. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. And let's start with a breath awareness. So just the next 5 rounds of breath, a simple awareness to your natural breath. And notice the flow. Notice your inhales and exhales. Just the natural flow, and notice how it feels to breathe this morning. Welcome. Notice if the breath feels jagged in any way. Notice where your breath is moving to in your body. And now start to do a body scan, starting with the brow. From the brow, moving down the face to the jaw, the neck and shoulders, the front of the body, the back of the body. Notice your hips and sits bones, the legs. Part of our yoga practice is being our own self-study. So doing a body scan, checking in with yourself at the start of your practice is always, even if you're not guided to do so, it's a good way to begin. It's a good way to tune in. When you bring your awareness to your breath and your body, it helps to calm the chatter in the mind. It helps bring us to this present moment. And placing importance on self-care, taking care of ourselves. I love Sue, who teaches here on Wednesdays. She talks about how our bodies are the home that we live in. So if we don't take care of it, where else would we live? So let's start to move now into a breathing technique. Our breathing techniques in Sanskrit are called pranayama. Let's place one hand over our heart space, our chest. And then the other hand, doesn't matter which, the other hand by our low belly, and then spread your fingers. So your pinkies are pointing down and your thumbs are pointing up, so that the lower hand, hopefully the thumb is maybe resting gently on your navel, your belly button. And that pinky finger is pointing down toward your pelvic floor. Our energy channels in our body, our chakras, start at our root. Start all the way down at the bottom, below where that pinky finger's pointing. And as we inhale, so inhale and imagine these energy points that your breath is moving and stimulating, each one as the breath moves up. And then your exhale, moving down. Our vagus nerve, longest nerve in the body, connects all these energy centers. So this light pressure of our hands is stimulating this vagus nerve a little bit. So another full inhale. Exhale it out. And now we're gonna do square breathing. So we're gonna inhale to the count of 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Retain the breath at the top, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Retain the breath at the bottom, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Retain, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Retain, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Retain, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Retain, 2, 3, 4. Try 3 more rounds on your own. Keeping your attention to your breath. Maybe visualizing a square as you do each 4 count. And feeling where the breath is meeting your body. And finishing up whatever round you're on, don't rush it. Take your time. And when that round is complete for you, bring your hands to your heart center. Set an intention for your practice this morning. So when we set an intention, it's kind of a guide to the practice. So if there's something, this full moon that peaked last night at 11, full moons are a wonderful opportunity to set an intention on something that maybe you're wanting to manifest. Maybe something that you've been working on that you want to see through this month, through this next lunar cycle. Let's do one Om together to open the practice. So take a clearing breath, inhale, exhale it out. And then inhale. Gently open the eyes, come back to the space. And let's rock forward. Move your blocks off to the side. Finding tabletop pose. So bringing your elbows, wrists, and shoulders in line, and your knees under your hips, tops of the feet on the mat. And just lightly start to tap the tops of your feet. Getting a little bit of energy moving there, a little blood circulation to the feet. And then take your knees wide, Bring your toes to touch. Bring your seat to your heels. Grab one of your blocks, slide it underneath your forehead. Let your elbows go soft on either side of that block. And settle in here. Belly breathing. So breathing deeply into the belly. Our Ujjayi breath, which is the breath of victory, is when we place a constriction in the back of our throat on our exhale. So take an inhale through the nose and then exhale, feeling a constriction in the back of your throat. And if you need a little help finding that, if you exhale with your mouth open and make the ha sound, and then close the mouth on the next exhale and still make that ha sound. And then you might feel that constriction in the back of your throat. So this Ujjayi breath helps to modulate our breath through our movements, through our asanas. Your next inhale, lift back up to tabletop and move that block to the side. And then we'll move through cow and cats. So find neutral to start. Bring the navel toward the spine to feel that engagement. And then inhale, lift, tilt the head up and tilt the tailbone up. Exhale, round the spine, tuck chin to chest, tuck your tailbone in. Inhale into cow pose. And exhale into cat. One more time as you inhale, feel the chest open, the collarbone expand. As you exhale, round the spine, really push the earth away from you. Feel that stretch in the upper back and keep cat pose. Keep this roundedness and then push your seat toward your heels. Slide the hands back and stand up on your knees. Float the arms overhead and make the arms parallel. Draw them down so the shoulders move away from the ears and a little arch back. It's not really an arch back, it's a reaching up and then that upper back opens. And then exhale back to tabletop. Move through cow, inhale. Your exhale into cat. While the back is rounded, push your seat towards your heels. And then inhale as you come up on your knees, float the arms overhead. They're parallel, draw the arms into their sockets. Inhale, lengthen up a little arching of the upper back. And then exhale, hands down, tabletop. Inhale into cow. Exhale into cat. With your back rounded, push your seat toward your heels. Slide the hands back, come up on your knees. One more time, arms up. This time, interlace your fingers. Press your palms up to the ceiling. Inhale as you lengthen. And then exhale, sweep the arms behind your back, interlace your fingers. Lift the chest, lift the arms away from the back. Breathe in, and breathe out, and release. Take that left leg out to the side. And we're planting that foot down, so the left edge of your foot should be parallel to your other left. You could do that side if you want to. And that left edge of the foot is parallel to the wall. And then take a moment to lengthen down through the tailbone so your pelvic shifts forward a little bit. Inhale the right arm up and then walk your left fingertips down that left leg as you reach through that right arm. So I've been reading a lot about breath work and its effect on our lungs. If you know our anatomy a little bit, our rib cage is made up of intercostal muscles. And when we do a stretch like this, any side bend, we're helping to expand those intercostal muscles, making more room in our lungs for our breath. Beautiful. This left side of your torso stays in line with the left thigh. And then inhale back through center. Do a little balance here. Take that right hand down. Start to lift that left foot up. See if you can lift it hip height. If not, if it's here, wherever it lifts to, left arm comes straight up. So you really feel that full extension. The cramping. Some circles, yeah. Push through. If that left leg's lifted, push through the heel. And then lower that left foot down, come up on that right knee, bring the left knee in. And then we'll take the right foot out to the side, planting that foot, making sure the right edge of the foot is parallel with the wall. Take a moment to lengthen down through the tailbone, so it kind of pushes this left thigh forward. Inhale, left arm up, and then walk the right fingertips down that right leg, and think about lengthening up through that left arm. Here, straighten this arm. Oh. We're getting you today, huh?
I know.
So breathe into it. A little different. So making this pose active by lengthening through that left arm. And then draw that left arm back and down, taking the balance on this side. So it comes right under the shoulders and the toes. You can just maybe tap the toes of the right foot. This right arm lifts up, or see if you can lift that right leg up. If you have the right leg lifted, flex the foot and push through the heel. There we go. It's okay. Yep. Do what you can. And then lower down. Draw the right knee in to meet the left. And then come back to tabletop. And push your seat to your heels. Arms extended. Inhale, coming back to tabletop. Then we'll do thread the needle. So first lift the right arm up. Get that chest expansion. Slide the right arm under the left, bringing the right cheek down to the mat. And check in with your hips. We want to have our hips level here. Good modification. Just lift up a little bit so you're not sitting back. So the hips stay above the knees. Yeah. Draw your right hip forward. Yeah. Drawing it forward a little bit. Yeah, there you go. Draw it forward. Yeah. One more full breath in. See if you can extend that left arm out to the top of your mat. Just for a full extension of both arms. And then slide that, which hand are you at? Left hand in close to the face. So you can press into that left hand to bring you back up to tabletop. Lift the right arm. and lower that down. Do a shoulder roll in between. So bend the elbows and circle around so you feel that in the shoulders. And then reverse. And back to tabletop. And then inhale as you lift the left arm up. Exhale, threading it under the right. So hips should be above the knees, in line with the knees. And the sacrum is level. The shoulder and the left side of the cheek are coming down to the mat. Maybe try extending that right arm straight out to the top of your mat. Breathing in, breathing out.
I don't think I can do that.
And then slowly bringing that extended arm by your face, pressing into it. Take that arm up to open the pose and then drop it back down. One more cow and cat, adding that where we push back to child's pose. So inhale, tilt the tailbone up, lift the crown of the head. Exhale, round the spine, tucking the tailbone under, and now push your seat to your heels. Inhale, coming up and floating the arms overhead. This time, palms touch. Bring the hands to heart center. And then tabletop, tucking the toes under. Lift your knees and shins off the mat, and then continue straightening the legs, lifting the hips up, finding downward facing dog. So when we have a full moon, some yogis think to avoid downward dogs and sun salutations because a full moon has more of a cooling, calming effect. So instead of heating our practice up, doing what we call a moon salutation or a moon flow. We won't do the whole flow today, but we're not going to be doing a whole lot of downward dogs. Bring your gaze to look between your hands. Walk one footprint at a time and really feel like go heel to toe. So you feel that stretch in the back of the legs. And then inhale, lifting up halfway, bringing fingertips to around your knees or shins so that you find a flat back. So as if I can come around with a tray and place it on your back and it wouldn't slide off. So yeah, lift up just a little bit higher. There. And then draw your shoulders away from your knees. And then draw the navel in. See if you can bring this up a little bit so there's less rounding. You feel that? The difference? Beautiful, nice. You're going to bring your feet a little closer together. And then as if you're reaching out through the crown of your head from your tailbone. So if you visualize lengthening, do you feel how your spine lengthens? Beautiful, nice, Karen. In this pose, this is our half lift. And now with that length in your spine, now begin to fold in half. So hinging at the hips, coming into our forward fold versus rounding into the forward fold. And now put a deep bend in your knees and roll up to standing. Flip the arms overhead. And with the arms overhead, Bring the shoulders away from the ears. And then drop the right arm behind you, keeping the feet facing forward. Twist from the belly button up. Inhale, float the arms up by the ears. Exhale, drop the left arm and twist open to the left. Reaching arms in opposite direction. Inhale, arms up by the ears. And exhale, twisting open to the right. Inhale, arms up by the ears. And exhale, dropping left arm, reaching. So arms in line with shoulders, hands facing the TV. Inhale, arms up by the ears. And exhale, opening to the right. Inhale, arms up by the ears. Exhale, twist open to the left. Inhale, arms up by the ears. Keep them there. Bring your seat back toward your heels, chair pose. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, chair. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, chair. Inhale, lengthen. One more. Exhale into chair. Inhale, lengthen. Take the arms out wide. Hinge at the hips. Dive forward. Come into your forward fold, Uttanasana. Hold opposite elbows. Allow the tension in the neck to release. So let the head hang. Feel that stretch in the backs of the legs, the hamstrings. Feel firmly rooted in your feet. Invite that Ujjayi breath in. Release the arms. Bend the knees, roll up to stand. Inhale, flip the arms overhead, palms touch. Exhale, hands to heart center and Tadasana, mountain pose. So mountain pose is an active pose, even though it doesn't seem it. So lift your toes. Feel the inner arches of your feet engage as you lift those toes. And then drop pinky toe, the fourth toe, third, second, big toe. Lengthen down through your tailbone. Feel that energy lift up the legs, up the spine, out through the crown of the head. Inhale, float the arms overhead, side bends here. So let's grab right hand around left wrist. And then use that hand to help lengthen that arm as we side bend to the right. 3 breaths here. So each inhale and exhale, feel that breath in your rib cage. Feel the breath fill up your belly. Soften shoulder. And then inhale through center. Take the arms behind your back. Interlace the fingers. Lift the chest. Draw the shoulders away from the ears. Shoulder blades toward each other in the back. Maybe lift the arms a little. Inhale, arms overhead. Left hand wraps around right wrist. And side bend to the left. Notice your back. If there's a little extra arching happening, lengthen down through your tailbone. One more full inhale. And exhale, come through center. Take the arms out wide. Hinge at the hips. Come into your forward fold. Bend your knees. Roll up to stand. Head being the last to come up. And then take a big step back with your left foot. And then turn your toes to face the TV wall. And turn your toes out. So they're in the same direction as your knees. Take your arms up, spread your fingers, star pose. Yeah, a little wider. And then soften your shoulders. Bend the knees, bend the elbows, goddess pose. Inhale, star pose. Exhale, goddess pose. Inhale, star. Exhale, goddess. Inhale, star. And exhale, goddess, hold here. So think about your back here. If you feel an arching, see if you can, that was nice, Gail, saw that little adjustment. Lengthening the tailbone down, tilting the pelvic forward slightly helps with that alignment. Try and keep it's okay, take your breath, breathe, coming out of it, and then bring yourself back in. And then inhale, straighten. Bring the hands to the hips and turn your toes in so you feel a little pigeon toed. And then bring your elbows toward each other in the back. So you're opening the chest before we fold. And then begin to hinge forward. Coming into wide-legged forward fold. Fingertips can drop to a block or the floor. If your hands are finding the floor easily, maybe bring them in line with your feet. Don't hesitate to use a block though for support. Help the floor meet your hands. And then let your head hang, release tension in the neck. Breathe in. Breathe out and notice how you feel. If you feel equal pressure in the feet. Notice if you feel like you're sitting back where your seat is going behind your heels. And rock a little forward if you feel imbalanced. So you want to be where the hips are in line with the ankles. So rock over, forward. And then press, put equal pressure in your feet. And then begin walking your fingers over to the right foot. We're going to turn both feet to face the mirror wall, bend the right knee, so we're coming into low lunge, and then drop that left knee down and curl the toe. Inhale the arms up by the ears for Anjaneyasana. Full breath, inhale, and then exhale, hands back down, tuck your left toes under, lift up to low lunge. Begin walking back to the left, pivoting your feet. We're going to walk all the way where we're pivoting the feet to the left. Bend the left knee. Lift the right heel, low lunge. Drop the right knee down and curl the toe. Inhale, arms up by the ears. Anjaneyasana on the side. Full breath in. Exhale, hands down to the mat. Tuck your right toes under and lift that right leg, low lunge. Walk your fingertips to the right, pivoting the feet. Coming back to your wide-legged fold. Sweep the hands behind your back, interlace your fingers, and maybe let the arms float toward your head. For this wide-legged fold, a different arm variation. Hips want to come back. So get hips into your feet a little bit more. Walk a little forward. Yeah, and then you wouldn't fold as deeply maybe. And then let the arms go. Bring your hands to your hips, press into your feet, lift to stand, and heel toe your feet together. Maybe take a little hop at the end, and then find the front of your mat. Standing in Tadasana. So let's take a moment here. Close our eyes. Find a little balance. Feel the natural movement of the body, even as we're standing still. Find your natural breath. Start to elongate the breath. So deeper inhale, deeper exhale. Inhale and exhale. And then open the eyes again. Take your feet out just a little bit wider, so they're wider than your hips. And then turn your toes out. So similar to star pose. And then grab your blocks and place both blocks. Some of you might not need both blocks, but start off this way. So place both blocks on top of each other in between your heels. So feet are still wide. So start to bend, knees in line with toes, and bring your hands to your thighs. So notice how your seat, your spine is straight and your seat is dropping. So see if you can continue dropping the seat to the block. Charlie's like, nope, not happening.
See, my legs are a lot shorter. That's the problem, I think. Maybe if I go like this.
You could try that, yeah.
Maybe if I put blocks like this.
Oh, no, they won't give you support. If you take your feet a little wider, no. Karen, yeah. What if you take your feet wider? There you go, Darlene. You're like an inch away.
Oh my God.
So to sit in Malasana squat pose. So let me get your blocks. Here, I'll get it for you. So I'm going to get them out early.
Okay, I cheated. I thought that just rolled over and cheated. I like that. That was really tough for me.
So this squat pose, Malasana. Oh, you got there.
Oh, you didn't see how I did it. But yes, I got that.
Awesome. And Karen, there you go.
Really?
So come down to your knees.
Okay, oh, that I can do.
Okay, and now sit down.
Yeah.
And now bring one foot forward.
Okay.
And then the other one, but it should be as wide as your mat.
Okay.
And you're, yep. Okay, there you go. Yep. Beautiful. Yep. So then elbows are going to come to the inside of your knees. Like this. So really our spine should be straight. So bring your elbows closer to your thighs if you're using both blocks. So for some, you might be able to take a block away and sink a little deeper. It's a practice. We make small gains. Darling, bring your heels a little wider.
I'm trying.
No, you're good. No, it's great.
Right
There you go. Yes. Mm-hmm. And then
I can't straighten up.
So then your feet, you've got more flexibilities. So come to standing again. And without the blocks, bring your feet as wide as your, oh, you turned your mat. As wide as your mat, sure. And bring them as wide as your mat. And then you do it without the blocks. Yeah. Beautiful. So Malasana is meant to be a meditative seat. So I know for some it's more effort, but just try and close your eyes here for a moment. Take a deep inhale Exhale, see if you can feel the breath move down to your seat, to your pelvic floor. One more full inhale. And then exhale. For those with the block, rock forward so you can move the block out of the way so then you can come to a seat and take your legs out in front of you and shake them out. Windshield wiper the feet from side to side. Another little shake out, and then separate your legs. Inhale, arms up by the ears. Reach forward. Reach for the mirrors. As you lower, as you hinge forward, bring fingertips in front of you, or for some, maybe forearms. Keeping toes and knees facing the ceiling. Forward fold. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. And inhale, begin to lift back up. Bring the soles of the feet together about 1.5 feet away from your pubic bone. So don't bring them in super close like we do for Baddha Konasana. Let them come out a little bit. We're going to do Tirasana, star pose. So interlace your fingers, lean forward. This forward fold, we round our spine and drop forehead toward the heels. The elbows come out wide as if you're making a star. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale, lifting back up. Taking the legs out in front of you, straight out in front of you, and flex the feet. Push your big toes away from you and draw the pinky toes toward you. Inhale, the arms up by the ears. And again, reach the fingertips for the mirrors so that you're coming into this fold like you're hinging at the hips. And then if the fingertips reach the toes, great. If not, just have the hands alongside the legs. But try and take any rounding out of the fold. See if you can feel it more as a hinge from the hips. As you inhale, lengthen the spine. The exhale, maybe feel like you can hinge forward a little bit at a time. And inhale to lift up. And then we're gonna lower to our back slowly, but bring your blocks. Have them ready. So when we lay down, I want you to be able to slide your blocks under your knees. So see how Michelle got off so I can